How's it going, everyone? This is Mitchell Mander here, and this is going to be a little bit of a different video, as I'm going to be doing a mini review of the new Pokemon Twilight Wings series, which just aired its first episode today on the official Pokemon YouTube channel. Now, this is a mini series. I believe there's only going to be 7 episodes, and we're only getting 1 episode per month. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do with this series, but judging based off this first episode, I'm actually really excited for this series to see what they do and the stories that they tell. I'm also wondering if maybe they'll go into the DLC territory and maybe talk about the Isle of Armor or the Crown Tundra. If they decide to go that route, that'd be pretty neat, but from what I saw in this episode, it has a lot of promise, and to be honest with you, it has a lot more promise than even the Pokemon 2019 series. So yeah, I kind of wish some more characters from the Galar region would show up in the 2019 series, at least in the future. I know that we're getting Leon soon, but I really need some more characters from the Sword and Shield games in the Pokemon 2019 series. Anywho, on to the mini review. Now, this episode begins with John, a young boy that is bedridden in the hospital, and his friend Tommy watching a match between champion Leon versus gym leader B, in which Leon uses his signature Charizard versus B's Machamp, and of course, Leon wins. John is a big fan of Pokemon and Leon, and one day hopes to watch a match between champion Leon and whoever he faces. And that's when we find out from a nurse that Chairman Rose is on his way to visit the children, and John decides to create a letter for him. 2 things to note as Chairman Rose is leaving the stadium for the hospital. The Corviknight that is taking him to the hospital is not very friendly to strangers. Chairman Rose finds that out pretty quickly that this Corviknight does not like strangers at all. Another thing is that if you look very closely in the background here, you can spot a character that looks very similar to Ash, as this character has a Pikachu as well, so nice little Easter egg here to Ash. Now, as John is working on his letter, Tommy runs out and finds out that Chairman Rose is at the hospital and is getting ready to leave. He runs back and tells John that he's already left, and he should be on the roof now. So John takes off to the roof to go find Chairman Rose. Unfortunately for John, as he opens the door, he sees that the Corviknight taxi is taken off, and unfortunately he was a little too late. However, the Corviknight notices John, and Chairman Rose also notices him, and they fly back. And as John goes to say something to Chairman Rose, he starts to pass out, and that's when the Corviknight, that seemingly doesn't like strangers, rushes over to save him, in which Chairman Rose finds this to be very surprising, and he notices that this boy has affinity for Pokemon. And he even tells him that he might become a good Pokemon trainer someday. And that's when the letter that John wrote for Chairman Rose ends up at his feet, and he picks it up, and he takes off. It turns out that this letter was actually a drawing of Leon and his Charizard. And as the episode comes to a close, we see a little montage of the gym leaders and along with Hop as they appear at the very end. Now, even though this episode was kind of basic, I actually enjoyed it quite a bit, and I'm anticipating the rest of the episodes of this series. Unfortunately, it's only a monthly series, so we have to wait an entire month for the next episode to premiere. But I'm curious to see if other characters like the gym leaders and Hop that were shown off at the end of this episode are going to have prominent roles in future episodes. Additionally, I'm wondering if John and Tommy are going to be making regular appearances, or if this is just their only appearance in this series, like they're just one-off characters. Because I'd actually like it if towards the end of this series, John actually makes it to one of Leon's matches, as that's something he wants to do, and maybe he becomes a Pokemon trainer. It'd be interesting to see if they do something like that in the future. Lastly, I actually really enjoyed the animation in this short. Also, the dub was actually pretty good as well. I was actually really impressed because the dubs of Pokemon tend to not be as good as the sub version. But this time around, from what I understand, the dub actually matches up pretty well to the subs. So yeah, I definitely recommend the dub for this one. So that's all I got for this mini review. What'd you guys out there think? Did you like this episode? Did you hate it? Post your thoughts in the comment section down below, and be sure to like and subscribe, and I will talk to you all later.